Welcome to the channel, and before the end of the video, make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And now we will start the story. The story of the juggler with the girl M. I have always felt that my friend is hiding something mysterious from me and does not want to reveal it. But one dark day she decided to tell me her scary story. And I will tell you the story of my friend she was. Her name is M. And she is a brave girl who lives in the city of Buka Musandam, Sultanate of Oman. In that town, there is a mysterious and frightening figure known as the Black Wizard. People avoid and fear him because of his ability to manipulate jinn and use black magic. M's house is located near the house of the Black Magician, and her mother warns her not to approach him and make him angry. However, M dares to explore the town and discovers strange and terrifying things. One day, M decides to go out to buy some groceries for her mom from the shop next door. When she was coming home and walking down the empty street, she noticed shells beautifully stacked on the side of the road. M is attracted to these shells and starts collecting them and putting them in her bag. Suddenly, the Black Magician appears in front of her with great anger. M trembles with fear and gathers her courage to confront the Black Magician. Out of nowhere, a whisper appears in her ear saying, "Shells!" She is terrified and hurries to give the shells to the magician, but they fall from her hand straight to the ground as if they were never in her hand. M panics as numbness spreads throughout her body, and she suffers from severe pains in her head. M runs quickly into the house and tries to close the door as she sees the Black Wizard flying behind her, as if breaking through the walls. M reaches her room reciting Ayat al-Kursi repeatedly, trying to protect herself from the magic of the Black Magician. Her mother returns to find M in hysterics and tries to help her. Her mother learns that she is suffering from the effects of witchcraft. In the following days, M's suffering continues with the presence of the Black Magician. She keeps seeing him unexpectedly and tries to combat her phobia of him and use Ayat al-Kursi as a shield of protection. While M is looking at the picture and trying to understand what happened, her mother is standing in the doorway with a contradictory expression on her face. It emits mystery and anxiety at the same time. You approach and sit next to M. "What are you doing here?" her mother asks in a trembling voice. I just wanted to know the truth. What were you doing with the Black Magician? And who is he?" You answer M tensely and desire not to answer. Her mother turns around and looks warily into the darkened room. Take a deep breath before you start revealing the truth. Then she says to her daughter, "There was a period in my life when I was in the prime of my youth, when ambitions pushed me to achieve success and strength. I met the Black Magician when I was dealing with occult and forbidden matters. He knew powerful magic and used it to achieve his personal goals." "What was your goal at that time, and what happened after that?" M asks, waiting curiously. Her mother takes a long breath and begins to speak in a broken voice. "I wanted power and control, and I was ready to do anything to achieve it. But I soon realized that I had fallen into the trap of darkness and evil. The Black Magician was exploiting my ambition and controlling my mind, and I became a tool in his hands. Eventually, I realized that this magic only brings destruction and pain. I tried to get away from him and change my life, but the Black Magician didn't want to leave me so easily. He started chasing me and threatening me." As M listens in astonishment to her mother's story, she hears a strange voice beyond the closed doors. The voice rose slowly, like a vague whisper creeping into her room. The lights in the room begin to flicker and the tension drops. M feels something dangerous is coming. M feels like running away, but she also wants to know more of the truth. She speaks in a whisper to her mother. "What's going on? Is the Dark Wizard coming back?" Her mother looks at her with eyes full of sadness and pain. "The Black Magician is not coming back, but something else. Something dark and dangerous is haunting us. I have brought this evil into our lives by my past actions, and I think we are paying a heavy price." Suddenly, fires break out all over the house and furniture moves unnaturally. The room heats up, and the mysterious whispers become more real. The light goes down, and a tall, intimidating-looking figure appears in front of them. "You are the cause of all this evil," the person cries out loudly. You were just a tool in my hands to satisfy my evil desires, and now you will pay for it. M screams and tries to escape, but the dark force quickly absorbs her and locks her in place. Her mother tries to stop the dark person, but he controls her and squeezes her neck. M silently witnesses this terrible show. While a supernatural power begins to creep into her body, she finds herself trying to resist the evil that besieges her, and finds an unexpected force emanating from within. With all strength and courage, M frees herself and jumps towards the dark person. Their forces meet in a violent struggle, and furniture and windows shatter around them. In a rare moment of silence, M gathers all her strength and banishes the dark figure with a loud, earth-shaking roar. The villain vanishes into a black mist, and calm returns to the shattered house. M looks around and finds her mother lying on the ground beside her. She lands on her knees and hugs her tightly. "Mom, are you okay?" Her mother puts a hand on her cheek and smiles hard. "I'm fine, sweetheart. You were so wonderful and brave. You saved us." They embrace for a long moment, then rise together to examine the damage in the house. In the aftermath of the struggle, M discovers that this dark evil that has haunted them is the embodiment of her mother's past actions, and that the power she has been given is the power of remorse and repentance. M and her mother vowed to live in the path of goodness and repentance, and to fight the evil that surrounded them for a long time. They decided to have a role in liberating the city from the control of the Black Magician and restoring safety and peace to its inhabitants. As the days go by, M and her mother work together to fight evil, learn white magic, and use it for good. They are joined by new friends and allies in the cause of justice and freedom. In the end, they manage to defeat the Dark Wizard and cleanse the city of his evil. People celebrate the return of safety and peace, and M and her mother are appreciated and grateful. At the sight of people, M smiles and hugs her mother, realizing that things will never be the same again. She is transformed from a brave girl into a real heroine, and has an important role to play in preserving goodness and justice in her world.